Have you ever wondered why everything feels so quiet just before your life changes? There's this stillness, a strange, almost unsettling calm. It's not emptiness. It's something deeper, something sacred. You can't explain it, but you feel it. A sense that something is shifting beneath the surface of your life, like the quiet moments before a storm, not of destruction, but of transformation. And in that silence, you start to question everything. Why is nothing happening? Why does it feel like I'm stuck? Why does it seem like God is distant when I need him most? But here's the truth most people miss. Silence is not absence. In fact, some of God's greatest work happens in silence. When it feels like nothing is moving, everything is actually coming together. You just can't see it yet. Like a seed buried beneath the soil, growth happens underground, hidden, invisible, but deeply real. And just because you don't see a sign doesn't mean there isn't one. Because when God begins to bless you, it never starts loud. It begins in quiet shifts, in small, subtle signals that most people overlook. But not you, not anymore. See, you've been waiting, hoping, trying to stay strong through seasons that drained you, challenged you, and tested your faith. And still, you're standing. That alone is proof that something greater is happening within you. It's easy to think God shows up only in the miracles, the breakthroughs, the visible victories, but more often he works in the silence, rearranging, realigning, and readying your life for what's coming next. And if you can stay still long enough to listen, you'll begin to feel the change before you ever see it. The world around you may not reflect it yet. People might not notice what's happening inside you, but that's the power of divine blessing. It doesn't need validation. It doesn't need noise. It doesn't ask for permission. When God moves, it begins in the unseen places, in your heart, in your thoughts, in the moments when you're alone and wondering if your prayers ever reached heaven. They did, every single one, and not one was wasted. But here's where it gets real. This quiet season you're in, it's not punishment, it's preparation. God is not delaying your blessing. He's developing it. And more importantly, he's developing you. Because if the blessing comes too soon, it could break you. But when it comes at the right time, it will build you. So right now, the silence isn't just silence. It's strategy, a divine pause, a sacred reset. So that when the blessing arrives, you are ready not only to receive it, but to sustain it. That's why it's so important to lean in, to not give up when things feel slow, to not quit just because you can't see immediate results. The blessing you're praying for may be closer than you think, but it's not going to shout. It's going to whisper. And only those who are tuned in, those who are still, faithful, and willing to trust even when there's no evidence, will hear it. So ask yourself this: what if the silence is the sign? What if the stillness you feel is not abandonment, but alignment? What if God is not far, but near, so near he's working on things you didn't even ask for, setting you up for things you never imagined? That's the kind of blessing that transforms lives. Quiet, precise, personal. And when it comes, it won't just change your situation, it will change you. Your heart will expand. Your faith will deepen. Your perspective will shift. And suddenly all the waiting will make sense. All the tears, all the struggles, all the nights you wondered, is it ever going to happen? They will find their meaning. Because you'll realize that the blessing was never just about what you were going to get. It was about who you were becoming in the process. So stay with this. Don't let the silence fool you. Don't mistake stillness for stagnation. You are not stuck. You are being shaped. And when the time is right, the blessing will arrive. Not just any blessing, but the kind that answers prayers you forgot you prayed. The kind that heals wounds you never thought could close. The kind that reminds you that God was never late. He was just preparing you for something beyond your imagination. And when you begin to notice the signs, everything changes. Because then you'll know this is not just another season, this is the beginning of a divine shift. Keep watching, keep listening. Because what's coming next could be the moment you've been praying for your whole life. When God is about to bless you, one of the first things that will happen is a sudden separation. It's like the universe begins to pull away things, people, and even situations that you thought were permanent in your life. And this can feel painful. It can feel lonely. But don't mistake this separation for a setback. It is, in fact, one of the most powerful signs that God is moving in your life. The people you thought would always be by your side might start to fade away. The friendships, the connections, the very environments that felt familiar and safe, suddenly they no longer fit who you are becoming. You may question it at first. You may wonder if it's your fault or if you've done something wrong. But the truth is, this is part of the divine plan. God removes what doesn't align with the future He has prepared for you. And that removal isn't a punishment, it's protection. You see, the things, and sometimes people, that are no longer meant to walk with you in the next phase of your life will only hold you back. They will weigh you down when you're called to soar higher. In this process, God is not rejecting you, He's redirecting you. What you may not see in the moment is that every person who leaves, every door that closes, is making room for something greater. The relationships that were once your world were only meant to take you so far. But there's more ahead of you, and God knows exactly what you need to get there. The path may seem unclear right now, but trust this. The separation is creating space for the blessing that is uniquely yours. The right people, the right opportunities will start to come into your life when the space is cleared. Sometimes when God begins to bless us, the process isn't all sunshine and smooth roads. There's discomfort. There's resistance. There's an undeniable pulling apart, like the fraying of old ties, the breaking of chains. But this is exactly what needs to happen. It may seem like things are falling apart, but in truth they are falling into place. It's like a puzzle that finally reveals its shape when the pieces are scattered and then put together. The old chapter of your life is closing so that you can step into the new one. You'll feel the change long before you see it. Your inner world will start to feel different. You'll begin to sense that things aren't aligning with the old version of you anymore. You'll realize that the comfort zone you once held on to is no longer comforting. The things that used to excite you will no longer bring joy. And this, my friend, is a sign. It's a divine nudge, a whisper that says, it's time for something new. It's time for a bigger blessing. And this next step requires a different you. And let me tell you, this isn't something to fear. This is a sign that God has great plans for you. There are certain blessings that require you to move forward with a clean slate. You cannot carry yesterday's baggage into tomorrow's victory. The pain of separation is just the temporary cost of stepping into a bigger, more abundant future. And I know it hurts, but this pain is not wasted. Every tear, every moment of confusion is preparing you to carry the blessing that's coming. When God blesses you, He doesn't want to just give you what you've asked for. He wants to prepare you to handle it. And part of that preparation is pruning, cutting away the things that no longer serve your purpose. This process will sometimes feel like you're losing, but in reality, you are winning. You are creating space for the right people to enter your life. People who will elevate you, who will challenge you to be the best version of yourself. You are making room for opportunities that align with your destiny, not just your past. This is the moment where your life begins to align with the vision God has for you. You might think back to the people who left, the situations that ended, and wonder why things couldn't have stayed the same. But the truth is, your blessing was never meant to fit into that old life. The new blessing is tailored to the person you are becoming, the person who can now see past the past, someone who knows their worth, someone who is ready for the big dreams that are waiting just on the other side of this shift. Remember, the separation is not an end, it's a beginning. And while it may feel uncomfortable in the moment, it's creating the space you need for what's next. The people who remain, the ones who support you through this, will be the ones who are meant to walk with you into the future. And the ones who fade away, they were part of your past. And as hard as it may be, you'll come to understand that their purpose in your life was fulfilled. And now your journey continues, stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the blessing that is coming. So when the separation happens, don't hold on too tightly. Don't chase after what's leaving. Trust that everything that has been removed from your life was never truly meant to stay. And what's coming next? It will be worth it. The right people, the right opportunities, the right moments, they are on their way. And when they arrive, you will be ready, because God has been preparing you all along. There's something else that happens when God is preparing to bless you. It's a feeling you may not fully understand at first, but it's unmistakable. You begin to feel a deep restlessness inside. It's as though something in your spirit is stirring, urging you to move, to take action, to grow. It's not anxiety, though it can sometimes feel similar. It's not fear, though it may come with uncertainty. It's the natural response of your soul to divine elevation. This restlessness is not a sign of failure. It is the beginning of your breakthrough. You see, when God is about to bless you, He disrupts your comfort zone. He shakes things up because He knows that nothing extraordinary comes from staying in the same place. The restlessness you feel is a signal, a spiritual GPS telling you that you're no longer meant to stay where you are. That old comfort, the predictable life you once knew, is no longer in alignment with who you're becoming. And while the discomfort may feel unsettling, it's exactly what you need to push you out of your stagnation and into your purpose. Have you ever felt like your heart was longing for something more, but you couldn't pinpoint exactly what it was? Maybe you tried to ignore it, hoping it would go away, but it didn't. It just kept growing, deeper and louder, until you couldn't avoid it anymore. That, my friend, is the spirit within you calling for more. It's God's way of telling you that the season of quiet preparation is coming to an end. He's calling you to take action, to move toward the life you've always dreamed of. This restlessness is a sign that you are on the verge of something great. It's like a signal from within that says you were created for more than what you've experienced so far. It might feel uncomfortable, but that's because you've outgrown your old ways, your old self, and your old surroundings. God doesn't just want to bless you. He wants to expand your capacity to receive those blessings. And the way He does that is by making you uncomfortable in your current state, so that you can stretch and grow into the person who is capable of holding more, achieving more, and experiencing more. When you start feeling this internal restlessness, understand that it's a divine invitation. It's an invitation to step into your purpose with confidence. God is trying to move you from where you are to where you need to be. And you may not see the way forward just yet. You may not know all the steps, but trust that this restlessness is guiding you towards something bigger than what you can imagine. It's not a coincidence. It's not just random discomfort. It's divine alignment, pushing you to take that next step even when you don't feel fully ready. This feeling often comes when you've been asking for more. Maybe you've been praying for a breakthrough in your career, in your relationships, in your spiritual life. You've been hoping for change, for growth, for success. And now this feeling of restlessness is God's response. He's stirring the waters because He's ready to bless you. But before He can, He needs you to step out of the boat and onto the water. This restlessness is the courage that lives deep inside you, courage that you didn't even know you had until it was awakened by the call of something greater. This is where faith becomes essential. It's easy to feel comfortable when everything is calm and predictable. But true growth happens when you step into the unknown, when you follow that inner restlessness even though you can't yet see the full picture. When you take that step, you are choosing to trust that God will meet you where you are and guide you forward. You are choosing to believe that even in the midst of uncertainty, the blessing is already in motion. And this faith is the key that will unlock the door to your next season. The restlessness you feel is a reminder that you are not meant to stay where you are. You are meant to move. You are meant to evolve. This internal stirring is God's way of stretching you, expanding your faith, and building your character so that you can hold the weight of the blessing that is coming your way. It's not about being comfortable, it's about being capable of handling what God is preparing to give you. And trust me, what He's preparing for you is far beyond what you could ever ask for or imagine. But first, He needs to prepare you to receive it. So when you feel that restlessness, don't resist it, don't ignore it, embrace it. It's not a sign that something is wrong, it's a sign that something is about to go right. It's the moment before your breakthrough. It's the divine nudge that says you are ready for what's next. Don't be afraid of the discomfort. Don't shy away from the uncertainty. Lean into it. Trust it. Because God is moving you towards something that will change your life in ways you can't yet understand. And when you step into that unknown, you will look back and realize that all along, it was leading you to the place you were always meant to be. There's another sign that God is about to bless you, and it's one that many people overlook: divine delays. You've prayed, you've hoped, you've worked hard, and yet nothing seems to happen. Doors that you thought would open stay shut. Opportunities you thought were on the horizon fade into the distance. You might find yourself asking, why is nothing changing? Why is it taking so long? But here's the thing: delay is not denial. In fact, divine delays are often the key to your blessing. It's easy to think that when things aren't happening on our timeline, it means we're being overlooked or forgotten. But in reality, delays are often part of God's perfect plan. The blessings that you're asking for, the breakthroughs you're praying for, they require more than just a moment in time. They require preparation. And sometimes, the delay is God's way of making sure you're ready for what's coming. If you receive your blessing too soon, you might not be equipped to handle it. You might not have the maturity, the wisdom, or the strength to sustain it. And that's why God takes His time. He's not withholding, He's preparing. Think about it. If you were given everything you asked for right now, would you be able to handle it? Could you carry the weight of the success, the responsibility, the influence that comes with that blessing? The delay is not a setback. It's a season of growth. It's a time for you to strengthen the qualities within you that will allow you to not only receive the blessing, but to keep it. God knows that the right timing is everything. He knows when you are ready, and He's willing to wait for that moment to arrive, because He knows that when it does, you'll be more than ready to receive the fullness of what He has planned for you. Divine delays also test your faith. When things don't happen right away, when the breakthrough doesn't come as quickly as you expect, it's easy to become frustrated, to feel defeated, to wonder if it's ever going to happen. But it's in these moments, when you're waiting and holding on, that your faith is refined. The process of waiting is not just about being patient, it's about trusting that God is working behind the scenes, even when you can't see it, trusting that the delay is part of the process, and that something incredible is being prepared just for you. The longer the wait, the greater the blessing. The deeper the preparation, the bigger the reward. In the delay, God is strengthening you, building your endurance, and refining your character. And when the time comes, you won't just be ready. You'll be stronger, wiser, and more capable than you ever imagined. The delay is not punishment. It's a test of faith and a gift in disguise. It's the time you need to grow into the person who can fully embrace and sustain the blessing that's coming. Sometimes the hardest part of the delay is the feeling of uncertainty. It's the not knowing. It's the question of, will it ever come? Am I on the right path? But here's the truth. God's timing is always perfect. It's never too early and never too late. His delays are not accidents. They are part of the bigger picture. While you might be focused on the here and now, God is working on the things you can't see, the things that are necessary for your future success. He's aligning people, circumstances, and opportunities in ways you could never have imagined. And when everything is in place, the floodgates will open. The blessing will come, and it will be more than you could have ever dreamed. So, when you're in a season of waiting, remember it's not wasted time. You are being prepared. You are being strengthened. Your faith is being tested, refined, and made stronger. You are becoming the person who can carry the blessing when it finally arrives. And when it does, you'll look back and see that all the waiting, all the moments of uncertainty, were simply a part of the grand design that God had for your life. Trust that He is working in the waiting. Trust that every delay has a purpose. And trust that when the time is right, the blessing will arrive, and it will be everything you've been praying for and more. As you continue on this journey, another sign that God is blessing you is the subtle shift in your desires. The things that once mattered to you no longer hold the same weight. The goals, the ambitions, and the desires that once consumed your thoughts start to feel insignificant compared to the deeper purpose that is emerging within you. It's not that you've stopped dreaming, but the nature of your dreams changes. You begin to feel a pull towards something greater, something that transcends your personal desires and aligns more deeply with your purpose. You might find yourself questioning everything. The things you once thought would bring fulfillment no longer satisfy. The old dreams, The ones you chased for so long begin to lose their grip on your heart. And while that might feel unsettling at first, it's actually one of the clearest signs that God is at work within you. This isn't a loss, this is a shift in perspective. It's a divine redirection. Your desires are being realigned to match the greater destiny God has planned for you. What once seemed important is now fading into the background because you are awakening to a higher calling. This shift in your desires is not just about what you want for yourself. It's about what God wants for you. It's about the life He's designed you to live, the impact He's called you to make, and the legacy He's preparing you to leave behind. And as your desires shift, you begin to realize that the true blessing is not in material things or fleeting success. It's in living a life aligned with your purpose, a life that reflects the deeper calling placed on your heart. When God begins to bless you, He doesn't just give you what you asked for. He gives you the strength and wisdom to ask for what is truly aligned with your calling. You may have prayed for success, for wealth, for influence, but God knows that these things alone will never satisfy your soul. So He redirects your desires towards something greater. The blessing is not just in what you achieve, it's in the peace, the fulfillment, and the deep sense of purpose that comes from living out the life you were meant to live. At this point, you might start to feel conflicted. You may still be holding on to old dreams, old goals, because they were once your definition of success. But the more you lean into your purpose, the more you'll realize that those old dreams can't compare to the fulfillment you feel when you're walking in alignment with God's plan. The blessing is not just in achieving your goals, but in the transformation that takes place within you as you move closer to your true calling. This shift in desires can be difficult to embrace. Letting go of old dreams, especially those you've worked so hard for, can feel like a loss. But the truth is, it's not a loss at all. It's a gain. You're gaining clarity, you're gaining purpose. You're gaining a deeper understanding of what truly matters. And as you let go of what no longer serves you, you make room for the new, the better, the blessings that are waiting for you. In this process, you'll also begin to notice a deeper peace. When your desires shift to align with your purpose, you'll feel a peace that transcends the temporary highs and lows of life. It's a peace that comes from knowing you're exactly where you're supposed to be, even if you don't have all the answers. This peace is a sign that you are moving in the right direction. It's a sign that God is blessing you with the clarity to see what truly matters and the strength to pursue it with everything you have. So when this shift happens, don't resist it. Don't hold on too tightly to the dreams and desires of your past. Trust that the deeper desires God is planting in your heart are a sign of the blessing that is on the way. He's preparing you for something bigger, something better. And as your heart aligns with His, you'll find yourself walking into a season of fulfillment, peace, and purpose that far exceeds anything you could have imagined. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that success is about achieving more, acquiring more, and reaching higher. But true success, the kind of success that comes with God's blessing, is not about what you acquire. It's about who you become. And as your desires are realigned with God's plan, you will begin to experience success in the truest sense. Success will no longer be about external markers of achievement. It will be about the peace in your heart, the joy in your spirit, and the fulfillment that comes from knowing you are living out your divine purpose. So, if you find that your desires are shifting, don't fight it. Don't feel like you're losing something. You are gaining something far greater. You're gaining the wisdom to seek what truly matters. You're gaining the clarity to see the life you were always meant to live. And you're gaining the blessing of walking in alignment with your purpose, something far more powerful and fulfilling than anything the world could ever offer. As you embrace the shift in your desires, something even more profound begins to happen. You start to recognize that the people around you are changing. Relationships that once felt aligned may begin to feel distant. And new people will enter your life who are more in tune with the person you are becoming. This is another powerful sign that God is blessing you. He is not only preparing you internally for greater things, but is also shifting your external environment to align with your evolving purpose. It's a subtle but undeniable shift. The people who once encouraged your past behaviors, your old dreams, may not have the same influence on you anymore. You might feel disconnected from certain friends, family, or colleagues, But don't mistake this for abandonment. It's not a sign that you're losing people. It's a sign that you're being elevated to a higher place, and not everyone is meant to go with you. As you grow, you'll find that some relationships naturally fade, and others will be strengthened, because they are in alignment with your growth. This can be an uncomfortable realization, especially when you're forced to let go of relationships that have been a part of your life for years. It's never easy to acknowledge that certain connections no longer serve you, but it's an essential part of your journey. You cannot carry everyone with you to the next level. God knows this. He knows that in order for you to step into your blessing, you need to be surrounded by people who push you toward your purpose, not pull you back to your past. And just as some relationships fall away, others will come into your life. These new connections may seem like strangers at first, but over time you'll realize that they are there for a reason. They are sent to encourage you, to uplift you, and to support you as you navigate this new phase of your life. These people will challenge you in ways you didn't expect, and they will teach you lessons that propel you toward your destiny. They will be your partners in the journey of success, faith, and growth. It's not about quantity, but about the quality of relationships. You don't need a crowd to achieve greatness, just the right people who understand, support, and believe in your vision. These divine connections are one of the clearest signs that God is blessing you. He's not just opening doors, He's positioning you within the right circles. The people who walk into your life during this season are the ones who will help you level up. They'll provide the wisdom, the guidance, and the encouragement you need to keep moving forward when things get tough. And just as God is shifting your internal desires, He's also shifting your external surroundings to align with your purpose. It's important to remember that not every relationship is meant to last forever. Some people are in your life for a season, and that season is coming to an end. While this can be painful, it's also a blessing in disguise. God is removing those who would hinder your progress and replacing them with those who will elevate you. This is not a punishment. This is God making room for the blessings He has for you. The people who are meant to walk alongside you in this new season will step forward, and you'll feel a sense of deep connection and purpose in these relationships. This doesn't mean that you should isolate yourself or shut others out. God places people in our lives for reasons we may not fully understand. But as you move forward, you'll begin to feel the pull of those relationships that align with your higher purpose, and those that no longer serve you will naturally begin to fade. It's a sign of growth, a sign that you are becoming the person you were always meant to be. As your relationships shift, so too will your sense of community. You will find yourself drawn to environments that nurture your growth, spaces where you can be your true self, where you feel supported, challenged, and inspired. God is aligning you with the right people who will help you fulfill your purpose, and as you step into these new relationships, you will begin to feel an undeniable sense of alignment. Your circle will change, but it will change for the better. It's easy to fear change, especially when it involves people we care about. Letting go of relationships is never simple, but trust that God's plan is always greater than your understanding. The people who are meant to walk with you will stay, and those who are not meant for your next level will fall away. This is not a loss, it is divine alignment. God is clearing the path for the blessings that are on the way, and part of that blessing involves the people who will surround you in this new chapter of your life. So, as you begin to notice the changes in your relationships, embrace them. Don't fear the transitions. Trust that God is placing the right people in your life and removing those who will not serve your purpose. You are being positioned for something greater, and the people who will help you get there are already being placed in your path. You're not losing connections. You're gaining the support and community you need to rise higher than you ever thought possible. And with each new person who enters your life, you'll feel more confident, more empowered, and more aligned with the destiny God has prepared for you.